I'm Suzann Holding, and I'm the director of the Doctor of Ministry program here at Bexley Seabury, and also the director of lifelong theological education.
Great. So I wanted to have a quick conversation with you for you to give us your perspective on the DMin program. What is it like to be a student in DMin here at Bexley Seabury? What are the expectations that the students can have once they start taking their coursework here?
Well, our DMin program is a low residency program, and we offer 5-day intensives as our courses in June and in January. The way the requirements of the degree are set up is we require 6 core courses that our students take, and they cover the range of congregations in the 21st century, being the first course in terms of what congregations are experiencing at this particular time and place in our culture and society. We do have a course on systems theory, a course on diversity, and we have a course on community organizing, and then 2 key courses on leadership. I think the basis of our core requirements revolves around leadership. It's our Doctor of Ministry degree in Congregational Development is an organizational development degree with a primary focus on developing the skills and theological reflection and practical application of a leader in their particular ministry context. We also offer a Doctor of Ministry in conjunction with 5 other seminaries in the Chicago area through the Association of Chicago Theological Schools, and that's a Doctor of Ministry in Preaching. That degree is set up a little bit differently because it requires a 3-week residency in downtown Chicago in the Hyde Park area over a 3-year period. And then students do some follow-up work in the 6 months each year following their 3-week residency, which leads to their thesis. The nice thing about that one is the ecumenical nature, and there's a lot of diversity in that program, so there's a real richness in that.
Okay, talk to me a little bit more about your degree on preaching. Is that 3-week, do you mean once a year? Or?
It's 3 weeks in June, July, and each week is a different course.
Okay.
So there's the first week is a course that you take in the first year, and then the second year has a required course, and the third year has a required course. The second week of the period is an elective course that you choose, and then the final week in that period is what they call the colloquy, which is work towards your thesis, and you're working on that with your core group.
Right. It sounds to me like both of those concentrations, most of the work happening with the student outside of the classroom.
Well, the idea is, our students are generally engaged in full-time work, whether it be full-time ministry or bivocational ministry of some sort. So you want to make it accessible for the students to be able to attend and do their coursework. They are professional doctorates, so that means that there needs to be some practical application and development of what you learn and actually using it in the context in which you're serving. So that kind of conversation or dialogue between being in the academic setting for the classroom and then putting those learnings to work in your ministry context, kind of goes back and forth. Both of these Doctor of Ministry programs have a cohort component to it, in which there's ongoing reflection about learnings as when students are not in residency.
Okay. What can I expect as a student? I come here for 1 week, let's say in January, complete my week of work, and then what happens after that? What do I have to do when I'm back home, engage in my ministry?
Probably write a final paper. There's usually, since it's a 1-week intensive, students need to come into the week prepared. So usually as early as 3 months prior to the course actually happening, the students will get their syllabus and the required readings and can read ahead for the class and be prepared for the class. There may be an initial assignment that is due prior to the class, and we use an online classroom called Moodle for conversations and some academic work or reflections to be posted prior to coming in. So the students in some ways are already participating in the class before they even get here. Once they're here, we call it intensive for a reason. It is a 5-day intensive, but there's a real benefit in that, in the interaction between the students during the course of the class and the community that is built during that time while they're here. They are very focused on their work while they're here. There aren't other distractions or things that they need to do. They can really come in, get the work done, build some good connections with their other students. Then all of the classes have some sort of final project, which is not an academic paper. Generally, it's a final project that's directed at something that can be applicable to their ministry. So it'd be based on the readings and what they've learned in the class, what they've learned from their other students in the class and the conversations. How are they going to then focus in on applying those learnings once they get back home? And then you're doing some sort of final project writing about that. So it's a 1-week class when they're actually here, but the span of time, working at their own pace a little bit beforehand and after.
Okay, great. And how about financial aid? Do we offer?
We do offer financial aid, and quite frankly, I don't know of many doctor of ministry programs that offer financial aid, but we do offer it, based on individual need.
Perfect. Is that a different application process for that?
I know it's the same application process for all of our degree programs.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.